Companies are investing billions in AI technologies. Of course, they are investing because they expect something in return of that, right? But the problem is the results are not coming, at least not so fast as was expected from the beginning. And we are moving, as Gartner say in their recent report, we're moving to this point where the expectation and the reality for AI technologies is reaching a point where fails are being perceived, but learning are also coming with that. So the report published by Gartner and is also mentioned in the recent issue of Harvard Business Review, but it's like a quite interesting number or impressive number that only one in every 50 AI investments delivers some transformational value. So what it means? Basically, companies are investing a lot on AI. They are not getting the return they expect, and projects are failing. But you cannot just see the headline and think, okay, yes, AI is failing. That's just hype. No, that's not the point, because we have a lot of learning coming out of those AI projects from those experiences. So what is happening right now is that companies are not becoming mature yet on using AI. I think we are far ahead or far away a little bit from that point of maturity for AI. But the point is companies are learning more and they are understanding where and how AI can fill some gaps that we have for creating, validating, checking hypotheses, checking scenarios, checking a big chunk of information and what to do with that. But the problem keep being what we do with all of those huge amount of outputs that we get from AI. Because remember, we talk about that in the channel. Output and outcome, they are very big. There's a big difference between them, right? And you need to understand that because getting more reports, more data, more information does not mean that you are making better decisions, and therefore it does not mean that you are moving or changing something in your business just because you have more of all those data and intelligence to make good decisions. The transformation happened after a decision is taken, and therefore making good decisions is still a very important part of the game here for the companies, for the business, and for you, of course. In an article published from IAP in April 2026, they look at this gap and they call out for the specific skill that is so much needed in this moment. They call that the bottleneck, it's human judgment. So it's not a lack of technology, it's not a lack of understanding, it's not a lack of uh, information to make good decisions. It's a lack of good decisions. So, with some context here, we need to understand that leaders, or the role of leaders, of course, make good decisions. And for doing that, leaders need to understand where and how they should spend their energy, how much information is too much, and how much information is needed to make good decisions, but take those decisions. Many times, a bad decision is actually much better than not having decisions at all. Because with bad decisions, you learn something, you get some feedback, you get at least some kind of experience from that, and you can change, you can learn more, you can iterate and take new decisions from that. But right now, what we are seeing, what the data is showing is that the soft skills for making good decisions, for communication, for critical thinking, it's very much more needed, or it's more needed than ever, because right now, maybe I'm repeating that, AI is giving you or filling the gap that was the access for all the kind of information in real time and supporting you to make those decisions. But the human in the loop, the human decided, the human pointed the direction, should take this call. And leaders who are having more, who are succeeding with their teams in their business, are the ones who understood that and they are taking the hard decisions, or at least taking some decisions. You know, in the same report, they call for this kind of imbalance that is created for a kind of dependency, where professionals who are performing well with assistance, and now I'm literally reading what they say in the report, professionals who perform well with some assistance can lose performance when the tool is not available or when the situation is new. So basically, what we see right now happening is people are using AI for moving the work to understand what is happening, but when the tool is not available, they don't know what to do. And that is a human problem, because we talk so many times in this channel and this podcast and in many other conversations we had that in the end, the professions and the careers and the roles who are going to survive are for the ones who understood how the technology is just technology in the end, helping the work to move ahead. And when they understand that, when they understand how they can use the tool, but still understand what is happening around, understand how this impact the business, what is the benefit being created, they can have and take more decisions. And therefore, judgment is not something to develop and get a little better. Judgment, decisions, critical thinking is crucial right now. So the question or the hard call I want to make here and ask you for bring this reflection for your next walk outside maybe is what is how is your decision making process working right now, and when was the last time that you took some hard decision or some kind of movement at your job that you completely understood what you were doing and why, not just taking because a technology or an AI suggested that this should be the right path, but actually you decided because you understood, you exercise your thinking to take that call. I want to invite you for that because if you reflect a little bit about it, you will remember how important it is for you and for your brain to just keep thinking. Sounds super simple when I say like that, but people are forgetting that. And with AI now accelerating every single week, and we see how fast things are changing, it is important to exercise thinking, critical thinking, or at least any kind of thinking, because that's what still differentiate us in a good way for the technology that can move so fast. The answers, AI will be better than us in that. They will be better to compile the data to get a fast answer to everything. But in the end, it is us asking the questions. It is you, the human in the loop, the leader, who is reflecting and bringing the right questions to the right moment and saying when some direction should be taken or when we should not take a kind of direction.